Hey everybody, it's John here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition, grabbing the Mystery Man achievement. This is to fight and defeat Q. Q is going to be one of those secret characters similar to Akuma in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo or Reptile from the Mortal Kombat series. And to fight him, you want to make things as easy as possible. So go into your options and set the difficulty to 1 star. And you want to go into dip switches and then turn off guard. That will ensure that neither you nor your opponent can use a block. Now, the requirements to engage the Q fight are these. You can't lose a round, therefore you can't lose a match. And you need to get a D or better after every single match. You also need 2 or more special points. A special point works like this. You need to get a grade better than your previous match's grade. So let's say you get a C in your first match. The following match, you need to get a B to get a special point. So you need to do that twice. And you need to have 5 or more super art finishes. Basically, finish your opponent off with a super art move. Now that we got the settings and requirements out of the way, you want to start arcade mode and pick a character who you like to use and whose special art you know how to use. And I'm picking Ryu because his is very easily done. His is just a quarter circle forward twice and then a punch. So we're going to start our first match. With guard turned off, the enemies are really easy to defeat, and this is on super easy. So you shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever defeating the enemies. They might give you a little bit of trouble, but you can use this trick where you'll plug in a second controller, and if you are on the verge of losing, if you hit start on the second controller, that will enable you to challenge that second controller, and pretty much it will just void that match. So that's a good way to do it if you absolutely suck at fighting games and have no idea what you do. There you see my first special art move done on Oro the first round, and you need to do 5 of them. So you can do 2 every match, obviously once every round. So Q appears on the 7th or 8th match. So you have about 14 to 16 opportunities to land a super art, and here's me hitting my second one, and that will defeat Oro. So we got 1 match down. As you can see, I didn't lose a round. I got S's on both of them, and I got a C++ rating. So we're gonna start our second match, and you want to pick Sean. For characters to pick, I recommend picking whoever your character is good against. So I like to avoid characters who have a lot of projectiles and really fast characters. So we're fighting Sean now. As you can see, I weakened him a pretty good deal here, and then I'm gonna throw my special. And then I got my third one right here. And then we're going to start the next round. So we have 3 specials down, and we're going to need 2 more to engage the Q fight. So we're just going to keep weakening this guy, building up our bar right here. And once you have enough, and once he's weak enough, we're going to back up, throw another one, and there is 4 out of 5. Very easily gotten out of the way as soon as possible. And then we get our grade. As you can see, I got an A+, so that gives us our first special point. But unfortunately, we can't get one after this because there's nothing higher than an A. Well, I think there's an S, but that's pretty hard to get. So we got our first special point, and we got 4 of our super arts out of the way. Now we're fighting Dudley. This guy's also pretty easy. He just throws a lot of punches. If you are good at speed, you can pretty much just beat the hell out of him up. A good way for you noobs at Street Fighter out there is to do a jumping sweep and then duck and then sweep. That's a good combo to cheese the AI. And here's me throwing my 5th and final super art, and I got that requirement out of the way. All we need now is the second special point, as well as making it there without losing a single match and getting a D rating or better on all those matches. Probably the best way to get above a D rating is, just try your best, to defeat them as effectively as possible. It's based on a lot of things like time, how much health you have, how many points you put up, how many combos you do, stuff like that. And we put up a C here, so unfortunately no special point bonus. Now we're going to start our bonus stage. These don't really matter. You can take this time to take a breather, because this achievement is pretty hard. We all can't be Street Fighter superstars out there, and fighting games are some of the hardest games to get achievements in. as well as racing games. But if you are an avid achievements getting person, then you probably already know that. Alright, so we got our first bonus stage out of the way. Now we're going to start our next fight. I will pick Makoto. Makoto's a pretty fast person, but does not have any projectile attacks, which is fortunate for us. So we're going to stick to our strategy, doing a jump kick and then a sweep. And really good for cheesing the AI is to just keep up that combo. And it's going to weaken and try to get on this side so I can throw my combo. There we go. Overdoing it at this point because that's 6 out of 5. So, you know, going completely above and beyond. But once again, if you aren't good at doing the super arts, you know, practice, because there are 2 achievements based on them, Big Finish and the one where you have to do the 3rd tier super art challenge, which is the super artist achievement. So this game does require you to do it quite a bit. It isn't that bad. There's me throwing my what was that, 6th or 7th one? Anyways, got another double win, and then we put up a B. There we go, we got our 2nd special point, because remember, in our last match we got a C, and putting up that B gave us our 2nd special point. And that's how the special points work, in case you haven't noticed. So we're going to fight Yun now. He's kind of a bastard, because this guy's pretty fast, and so is his brother Yang. And they're in Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, which is a game I hope to cover one day. And here we are, got my win on this guy, and we're gonna try to fight this dude again. Once again, try not to worry too much about throwing a combo. You have like plenty of opportunities. Once again, 14 to 16, and you only need 5, so there's a pretty big margin of error right there if you are that worried about it. And just try to do your best. Here we go. This guy's pretty much beating me, and at this point I remember that I can't lose a round, so I just go for it. I was trying to get to the other side so I can throw my super art. Wasn't able to be done. If you're running low on health and you're wondering whether you should throw your super art or just finish the fight, always just finish the fight. Never risk losing a round. Especially if you're not doing the 2nd controller trick, because if you aren't quick enough with hitting start on the 2nd controller, you'll just mess up the achievement. So, you know, it's best to just try to be as perfect as possible. Here we are fighting 12, the stretchy limb dude, similar to Dhalsim from Street Fighter 2. And once again, I'm just going to try to cheese him right here. Having trouble throwing the special because he does that whole teleportation attack where he'll dig his like limbs into the ground and stab you. But got him out of the way, and once again, just doing way more than 5 just because. And then he has that whole attack where he goes invisible. Once again, your roster of characters might be completely different depending on what character you play. I'm playing as Ryu. I usually play as Ryu, Ken, Akuma, or Chun-Li, in case you're wondering. And there we go, got another double victory, and we're gonna continue on. Managed to put up a B, and that is another special point. Then you have another bonus stage where you have to tech these basketballs. I don't do very well because at this point my palms are sweating because I'm like really nervous that I'll mess up this achievement, because that's what I do. Anyways, you don't really have to try on the bonus stages. They're just there for fun, just like if you were playing this without achievements. But there are, you know, challenges, you know, if you want some VP to buy some bonus stuff. But honestly, if there are no achievements, there's no point in doing it. Here's Remy. This is actually our very last fight. So we're gonna do this, and once you beat him, you'll trigger the Q fight. And it takes this long. It might take more or fewer matches. There's some debate whether it takes 7 or 8, but once again, it takes around there, pretty much almost the whole arcade fight. It's definitely before your rival match and before Gil, so you have that to keep in mind. I believe it's 1 or 2 matches before your rival fight. And here we are, just laying into Remy. We got 1 win. And I'm just going to try my best. Throw my special, but I miss like a noob. We got 1 more, trying to throw it. And let's see, going to throw a Hadouken by accident. Once again, using the 360 controller isn't really good. If you're serious about fighting game achievements, I definitely recommend investing in an arcade stick. Mostly the ones with turbo, because those help out with non-fighting games. And there is Q. He's the guy with the mask and the fedora and a trench coat. And there he is. Now, the achievement isn't to just initiate the fight. You actually have to beat him. And once again, those dip switches and the difficulty is still set to low, so he is also very easily defeated. And there we go. There's our first one. And here's round 2. And once again, just try to keep up our strategy. High kick and then a duck and then a sweep. And just gonna keep backing him into the corner. I could have got perfect there, but I want to finish with style, so I'm just gonna try to back up and throw a super art on the left side. And got it. And once you win, you're gonna get your score like every other fight. And wait for the achievements. You can get your rating, got an A. Boom, there it is, 20 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.